Welcome, everybody, to Catfish Weekly, presented by Whiskerware Apparel, along with Chuck Davison and Doc Lang. I'm Lyle Stokes, and we have got a good one tonight. Chuck, you been fishing?
Yeah, we went out. I went out a little bit this weekend, and boy, it was hot. Had the Bimini top up, and that thing's only good for one thing, and two things. You can sail with it, and it get in the way, and it was doing a little bit of both. But I had to have it. I went out the weekend before without it, and I mean, I got sick. It was so hot, but yeah, I really didn't do that good. I just had to get out on the water. I was just primarily wanting to, fine tune my electronics a little bit and work on a little couple of techniques I've been working on.
I understand.
It'd have been a lot better if I'd had somebody there with me to help me, but it worked out pretty good.
Sounds like a good weekend. Doc, how'd you fare with the grandkids in that tournament over the weekend?
We did okay. I didn't get where I wanted to with them. This lake that we fish, this is an annual thing with me and my grandkids. I take 3 of my granddaughters on Friday and 2 of my grandsons on Saturday. And over the last 3 years, this lake has gone from nothing but channel cats to everything is now flatheads. So the top 30 places were flatheads, with a 40-pounder being on the top, and the 30th place was like a 15-pound flathead. And my grandkids, we fish during the day. We don't fish at night. So we were just dragging baits all during the day. The girls, they were ecstatic because they caught 36 channel cats, and the boys only caught 15 the following day. So a lot of competition there between the 5 of them. So, but we had a blast. It's I enjoyed every year, and I've taken them for the last 4 years. So
that's outstanding. I guess so. When you get all them kids together like that and get them on that many fish, it's got to be amazing time to be out there, because I know that everybody wants to catch fish, but when you get those kids to the point where they're reeling in fish just all the time, 30 some odd fish with them girls.
That's a lot of fish.
That's a lot of fish. There's not much. You don't need no Game Boys or none of that stuff for them to play with. They don't have time for that when you're catching that many fish.
No, they were reeling and netting, because by the end of the day, I was letting them net all the fish. They were taking turns netting each other's fish. So it was a good time. I enjoyed it.
Heck yeah, I'll bet so. Well, I'm going to detour my experience with the Brunswick Wildcat tournament to the end of the show when we start talking about other stuff. But I've got some really good information to share with that, and as soon as we get done here, we'll get the guys on. If everything works right, Mr. Eddie is still at work as of now, and he's rushing home when he gets done. And if his computer monitor and camera and everything work, they're going to do a live show online with us. And if not, I'm going to call them up on the phone and get them on here. The winners of the Brunswick Wildcat tournament. We had an absolute blast over there, but I'll go over that after we get done with Dan. We have Dan Mueller with Catfish Now magazine, a new online magazine that's coming out. I'm really excited about this, and I think it's going to be an absolute wonderful thing for our sport. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good. Thank you guys for having me on tonight.
Oh man, we're excited about this new magazine. I know some people have tried it, and some of them have one magazine a year type thing, and catfishing needs more than that. And I think the online thing is where most things are headed, and I think you're going in the right direction. I know for a fact that you got some good guys going to be putting input into this. Ron Presley is he is one of the greatest in the world, and you can't go wrong if you've got him involved with your project.
Well, I can't say enough about Ron. I waited a long time to start this magazine after doing the Crappie magazine, mainly due to the fact I wanted to make sure I had a good editor, and Ron is definitely one of those. And
Oh,
with
absolutely.
Keith Sutton being on there, Mr. Catfish himself, he'll be writing for us along with some other really great writers that'll be doing the regular articles, and then we're going to have guest writers that poke in every month to write once in a while as well.
That'll be outstanding. We've had Ron and Keith both on our show with us, and they are very knowledgeable about the sport. They both have a passion for it, and Keith has wrote some of the best books ever been written about catfishing, and we really enjoyed both those guys when they was guests with us. And you know, you're headed in the right direction. I don't see how you can possibly miss with those guys like that.
I'm excited about it. I think we've got a great lineup on articles. Ron has showed me about the first edition, which is going to be in 15 October, about what they're going to be writing on, and he's even planning out magazines after that. And with it being a monthly magazine, we'll be able to hit what's happening in those current months and what tactics and techniques that you guys that do this all the time are really good at. And the third thing is we're not going to just cover one type of catfish. We're going to be covering all types of catfish. And we'll be covering all parts of the country. And we'd eventually like this thing to be international so that the catfishermen that fish in all reaches of the globe can talk about that.
Man, that would just be outstanding. Listen, I know that Chuck is sitting there with a list of questions to ask you, Dan, and I'm going to let him have you for a little while. When he's done, he can pass you right on over to Doc, and we'll see if we can't get some information from you.
Thank you so much, Lyle.
All right, buddy.
How you doing tonight, Dan?
I'm good, Chuck. How are you, sir? A fellow Alabamian.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When I heard about this Catfish Now magazine, it sounded like it's going to be, you know, something really good. Especially, you know, here local. You know, there was one being tried from Canada. You know, but you know, even if you have people send you articles and stuff, you're not right there with the sport and able to, you know, focus on it like you need to and give the people exactly what they want to hear. So are y'all planning on, I know with Ron on there, there's going to be some good tournament coverage. Has he said anything about covering tournaments and stuff?
Yes. Our plan is to cover all the tournaments, as many as we can get to, but we'll take information from all the different circuits. We'll take it, we're joining on Facebook with all the groups, trying to also collect information of all the clubs, because we'd like to have information flow back and forth with the clubs and the groups that are on there. That way then we can also report on how, like your tournament, as long as the people send the info to us, we'll put them in the next magazine. And we have found out that relationship is great to get the info out to grassroots of all types, whether you're a professional, you're a weekend fisherman, or you fish once a month. We want to reach everybody.
Yeah, that's great. I know exactly how the media is getting. I was, up till 5 years ago, I was working for the Birmingham News, and, you know, it turned off like a light switch. You know, and now, you know, I had a lot of close friends that worked for EBSCO Medias, which was one of the largest publishers I know in the South. I'm not sure about the nation, but they were mighty big here in Birmingham, and, you know, they shut down production. You know, so everything's going electronic. You know, a lot of people's even wanted their mail electronic, their banking statement. So most everything's going online. You know, myself, I like to have a paper trail. You know, I like to get my bank statement in the mail. So I guess people who want to, you know, have that stuff, you know, it's, you know, you always want that Catfish magazine laying on your coffee table so you can just pick it up at any time and look through it. You know, and that's always great to be able to do that. But, you know, that's one thing that's going to miss when they all start fading out, is that, you know, having that coffee table book. You know, usually has a catfish article or two in all Alabama Wildlife magazine. You know, but they're really not the kind of articles that I really get into.
I hear you. And the thing is, what we're going to publish is, we've done this on the crappie side as well. We know that a lot of readers like to pick up something and read it. And so what we'll do is, online, we'll provide a PDF version, which is the version I'm sure you know, but for all you listeners out there, It's one that you can download and you can print in on your printer at your house or at your business. And we'll also provide another copy of it. It's just text. And that way then those that don't have high-speed connections can actually read the articles in that, but they won't be able to see the videos in that unless they go online. So that way then we can reach everybody. The one thing I just looked at stats on the Crappie magazine, since we've been doing this for 6 years now, is when I first started, the mobile downloads and tablet downloads were only like in the beginning about 10% of what we did. The stats as of today are 61% are downloaded off of mobile phones and off of tablets. 61%. It even shocked me, and I know the numbers on the catfish side are higher than the crappie side. I understand the industry is telling me it's around 70%. So all you catfishermen out there that love to do this and come with these guys here, you're going to love the magazine because you're going to be able to see video, you're going to be able to get up online and read it, see pictures, and you're going to be able to go over to social media and we can converse and send out other information through the social media side. That includes YouTube.
Great. Are you going to be letting people advertise, and you're going to be able to sell articles and stuff like that in your online magazine?
Yes, sir, Chuck. We have just finished the media kit with pricing. Anyone out there that wants to touch base with us, that wants to find out, what it would cost to have the advertising, and we found that this model works very, very well. We can send you the crappie media kit. I can email it. That way you don't have to get a printed copy of it. We don't tear down any trees doing it. And they can email me. Probably the best way, the quickest way, is I have a catfishing email address, which is Dan D. catfishnow@gmail.com, and I can send you a media kit. And Lyle, I can send you that link. You've got also my email account that you guys out there in the country can see just how, if you want to buy ads, it's not just like a printed ad anymore. It's a interactive ad. We can actually do just regular ads, or we can do ads that are videos. We can do ads that are tagged back or linked back to a website. So there's a lot of versatility on that side, and then we can do social media with it as well. So we can do it up on the Crappie Now page. We did a survey for Crappie for ICAST 2016, hit 150,000 people in a 4-day survey. And
Wow.
it told a lot of people is in the industry exactly what products they should look at in the future. So our whole goal here at Catfish Now is not only to educate, train, and to show people that are just starting all the way up to the pros some of the techniques or learn their techniques. It's also to go out and be able to link the industry to the fishing and give a voice to where a lot what's coming out both directions, things can be made and built and revised and help to make the industry stronger.
Yeah, that sounds like exactly what we need. It's about what we have now. We had a lot of different forums. Probably 5 or 7 different ones, and then Facebook came out, and the forums just pretty much shut down about all at the same time, because with Facebook, everybody was able just to mingle at the same time. But we need much more than that. We need exactly what you're fixing to put out. Sounds exactly what we're needing, especially with tournaments getting to where I think they're going to be within the next few years. It's going to be very important to have somewhere you can go at any given time and look at the leaderboards and everything without having to try to search all the way through Facebook to see how everybody did in certain tournaments. You just go to one place and have everything there.
Yeah, that's the one thing we found out. We did the crappie side and linking up the clubs. It became also a way for us to talk to DNRs in each one of the states, about water conditions or about fishing limits or about issues that need, both as catfishermen and crappie fishermen, about the issues of water control, about invasive species and many other ways that gets the word out. Well, we can unite and talk to politicians and to people, biologists, to help us make this a stronger, united way to make fishing great for our kids, our grandkids, and for ourselves.
We really need that.
Exactly.
I have been a strong advocate for different things. We just got the rules changed with the help of a guide or two over in Mississippi on the catfishing side on one of the major lakes there to get some rules changed that will actually improve the fishing down the road. So if there's issues like that, like the invasive carp and so forth, that we need to address in our magazine, I do an editorial every other month, and then Ron will do the off month or the on month, depending on how you look at it. And in that, we will go in and write on whatever issue it is. Now, Ron will say it was his on month, and mine was the off month. So I tell you what, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
He's a great guy.
So we're going to try to hit all those things and much, much more. And so if you guys think of things out there that you're listening to this, and both, the guys here, Chuck and Lyle, and others, that's something that we need to address in there for future topics, please let us know so that we can address those in the future. And we'd be happy to do that. We want to be part of the Catfish Conference as well, to listen into the issues, listen into what is looking to be done in the future by you guys and gals as far as the strength of the industry. So what you're doing here on the podcast tonight and what you do, this is awesome. This is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I mean, are y'all gonna have like pages for where licensed guides can be listed and all the different issues? So if somebody wants to take a guide trip in a certain state, they can look and see what guides are in that area that are Coast Guard certified, so they can go out and have a safe trip and go catching some good catfish.
That brings up a good question. We have tried that in the crappie side and got some traction with that. There is an agreement that I'm working on with a company called Easy Wave. I don't know if you've heard of Easy Waves. It's something new. And it helps the guides out there to be able to get the word out. And it does all kinds of things like calendars and those sorts of things. And we can link up to that through the Catfish Fishing Now magazine. And is that something that everybody out there would be interested in that are guides?
I would think so.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. There's a lot of guys are out there doing it that's not certified. A lot of them don't have to be, on the type of water that they fish.
Yes.
But there's a lot out there that's doing it wrong. But all the guys that's out there doing it right, they like, they would probably love somewhere that people can go to and see where you can go get you a guide and fish Lake Wheeler, Alabama, go fish, Sante Cooper, wherever you want to go, and just look through it and have reviews and stuff like that.
We'll look at doing that then. I will. One of the things I ran into when we were doing the last time I started this process with crappie is in that time frame when everybody was trying to catch all the people who were not licensed, and there were a lot of agents out there that were signing up and, of course, catching some of these people. And so people got kind of scared off of putting their names out there, and especially in some of the waters like down here, as you know, Chuck, we got the Alabama River is my favorite place, but, we got locks all the way to the ocean, so you've got to have a captain's license in order to be able to guide on it and to fish. And so there's other places like that, I'm sure. And some of the guides got a little nervous about having all their names out there, but I think that's all changed now. Is that your feeling as well, that there are a great number of guides in this industry that if we create a list of, and we then could build a list of those to work towards this relationship that I've been working on, if that is something that would be very feasible, we will do that.
Yeah, the guides, they need somewhere to put their name out, to fly their Coast Guard certification emblem and
Yes.
say, hey, I'm accredited, certified Coast Guard, and pretty much, I don't think a guide should even advertise if he's not certified. That to me, even if you're fishing waters that uh, are not navigable, you need to be certified because there's so much that these guys learn and need to know by going to that school that could be used on any waters, and especially if you've got, you're taking people out and their lives are in your hands. And I don't see guys that are not certified trying to advertise.
Agreed. Agreed. Most of them I see that are out there, and a good friend of mine on the crappie side just got his certification this year and went through the one down in Mobile, and he was telling me about the test that he took. But there's a lot of safety things involved in this, like you said, that protect people, help them with CPR or help them with whatever medical conditions that can come up. And it helps them also for the guides for the liability insurance. So, that's a big deal. And so we'll definitely looking at doing that, guys. We'll look at the entertaining. I wanted to do that. In fact, one of my people, if everybody out there, if you see a name show up in one of your crappie groups or whatever, her name is Angela Pearsall. And Angela Pearsall is the one working for me that's pulling together guide lists, clubs, groups so that we can reach everybody. We're trying to reach out to everybody. So we won't push so much ads towards people. What we will push, though, we will push things like the magazine when it's going to be launched or some edition article that's in the magazine, and guides could be part of that.
Right. Are y'all going to have, youth corner pages for kids to show off their catches and stuff like that?
Yes, and not only just youth, but anyone that wants to show off their catches, we're going to have an area for bringing in for a contest, and they can send in pictures. And a lot of times on the crappie side, we get a lot of youth pictures. We'll have that area in the magazine as well. But, Chuck, you there?
Yes, I'm there. Yeah, I'm going to pass you over to Doc. I'm sure he's got plenty to talk to you about, and it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you, Chuck.
Hi, Dan. Welcome to Catfish Weekly. Great to have you on board with us tonight.
Thank you, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. When is your launch date going to be?
15 October will be the maiden voyage article or the magazine.
Okay. And then what is going to be the cost of it? I mean, is it, is there going to be a subscription or what?
Free to all the readers out there. You can't get any better than that.
No, you can't.
And so that's the way that I've done on the crappie side. It's the way it's going to be on the catfish side. It's free to the reader. It will cost our sponsors, whoever buys ads or will come in and either buy our support through social media underneath the Catfish name that's underneath the magazine. Either way or both will pay the way for the magazine itself. Same template we've done on the crappie side. Not making, tons of money, but it's a great way and it's very rewarding for us to have a publication that's operating in today's environment.
Correct. Oh, that's great. Yeah, free's always good.
One thing I will add to that is that we will have a sign up on the web page, and if you go up to the web page now, it says coming soon. We're working. The page is pretty much done. We're just going to go in and do some design work. We had the whole template that we built over 6 years that works very, very well on the crappie side. It'll be the same for the catfish side. And because we just got all of our graphics done for the media kit, we now can use that same design approach as far as the way the website will be. So it'll be very nice, very attractive, easy for people to come in and read it, and easy for people to submit things. So when they do come in, they can subscribe, and the subscription is no cost. But if they give us like an email, and we don't need all their information, just their name and email address. We will make sure that through constant contact that when a magazine is being deployed, we let everybody know, and we're also looking at a newsletter. So once we do that, that'll be deployed through that constant contact to the ones that come out.
Great. That sounds great. Now, are you going to try to come out more than one time a year, or what are your plans?
It's once a month. It'll be
Once a month.
15th of each month.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it then. So.
Well, I hope it don't let everybody down. You know, we didn't on it on the others, and I'm sure Ron will make sure it's got the right content in it and the right pictures.
Oh yeah.
And we know pictures are worth 1,000 words, but there's always good storylines that go with it. The one thing I want to promise you this: we have guidelines, ethical guidelines that we put out for both magazines. I made sure the groundwork on that with Ron, and Tim Huffman's my editor on the crappie side. We wanted to make sure that the ethics were as follows when we did our magazine. No one gets left behind. We bar no lines across, avenues of tournament trails and people locations and all that. Everybody's a catfisherman. And the other thing is that when we write articles in our magazine and anything else that you see on publications, it will be not infomercials. It will be content that is written about techniques or about approach or location or, those sorts of things. And it'll incorporate product into it for the sponsors and so forth, but it will be in the way it should be of how to use it, where to use it, and how it was deployed by that fisherman.
Right. Good deal. Sounds great. Well, thanks for visiting with me. Lyle, I'll let him have you.
All right. Dan, we had we have a live chat that goes on, and one of the guys wanted to know if he was going to have like a tournament director's corner or something to specifically let everyone know about rules, regulations, upcoming tournaments, and things like that.
Not so much on the rules and regulations because sometimes the timing of it, but we can put them out because in the Facebook side, if you have rules and regulations you want to get out to everybody, like right now I'm publishing on the crappie side through Facebook. I'm putting out information on tournaments. And I can do that now on Facebook. Ron and I will be adminning the Facebook side and all that, so we can put that information out. In the magazine, there will be a tournaments corner. There is an area in there about results of tournaments, upcoming tournaments, schedules, all that. We will take that information.
Awesome. That's really good. That'll be really good. Doc covered that. If you would, and you get a chance, you or Ron, if you would get all of the information for the magazine and post it on Catfish Weekly, I know that would be a great asset. I have the stuff here, but that way, and Ron would be really good at that, or yourself, either one. But that way, people can look at that from now on, and that way, if they want to know about the advertising or what's going to be in the magazine, they can pull that up, and they can have contact information where they can get a hold of you guys.
Absolutely. We can do that. I'm sure Ron's listening in. We'll talk about that and make sure that we get that posted up. So, and one thing, everybody's interested out there about the catfishing world at ICAST. Also, and there weren't that many vendors at ICAST this year that were catfishing oriented. They're there, but the product wasn't there, and I think that's kind of sad. When I first started the crappie side, it was the same way. Now it's just infiltrated. It's everywhere. It needs to be that way on catfish. It needs to be there for our kids. It needs to be for equipment coming up for the pros as well as the beginners. So we'll try to do that. We're going to try our best to do that, and we'll give you both the media kit, and we'll also give you the release on the announcement of the magazine, which gives some specifics on it. Anything else we can give you, you just let us know, and Ron or I'll take care of that.
That's excellent. That's excellent. We have one of the rod company guys that watches our show tonight. Tony Caton's on here, and he says he can't wait to check this out and would love to do some advertising with you. So there you go. Your time spent tonight has been well spent with us.
Thumbs up. Yeah.
I got a question for you, Dan. If I want to get online right now and and I want to go check out your crappie magazine.
Yes,
Where
sir.
do I go check that out so I can
Go
see
to.
how you're advertising and everything?
Oh, thank you, Chuck. I appreciate that. It's www.crappienow.com. It's in the Now family.
Okay,
So it's
and it's going to
crappie.
be, yeah, so pretty much the catfishing is going to be about in the same format. It's just going to
Yes.
be different focus. So we can pretty
Yes.
much see how your crappie now is, and that's what we're going to be looking forward to for catfish.
Yes. And
Exactly.
if there's more we need to do or something else that the readers or you or whoever's out there wants, please let us know through messaging us or emailing us, and we'll take a look at it, see if it's feasible, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I got Ron on speed dial, so that's no problem.
Okay.
Well, Dan, I want to touch on something a little bit different and let our viewers get a little background on you. I know that you are a big-time crappie guy. You fish a lot of tournaments and you do a lot of crappie fishing, but you're also a military gentleman, as I understand, and that's something that is near and dear to all of us.
I am. I'm a retired Air Force officer. I came up through the enlisted ranks. I'm a Mustang. Got commissioned back in 1983 after going through 11 years of enlisted time, and then served for 25 years. And retired in 1997 and went into consulting for the Air Force and working at traveling back and forth from Alabama to the Pentagon and working contracts and helping out with different kinds of new aircraft being bedded down and making sure our troops are safe. And I'm a big time advocate for all of us retirees and all the active duty that go out there and serve, and our policemen. I believe that without order and without rule and supporting our people that put their lives on the line every day, and Lord knows all of our military has gone back and forth to the desert from 5 to 7 times, they need our support.
That is 100% correct. We have a tournament that Cindy and I fish every year out of Quincy, Illinois. Is Fishing for Freedom. We take a military personnel out. It may be active duty, maybe retired, maybe someone that has injuries. You never know what you're going to get. Now, people can request who they go with, but that is by far the biggest, best, most fun tournament we fish every year, and we wouldn't miss it for anything.
I'm going to tell you what, to see one of our wounded ones, be helped and assisted by being able to live their lives just like we get to live ours. And Lord knows they gave up the best of their years to be able to serve us so that we can go out and fish and have a good time and be with our grandkids. Man, that's living.
Yes,
I agree 100%.
My tournament partner is a retired Master Sergeant U.S. Army. He's a wounded warrior, and every time he gets in the boat, we just have such a good time. Do you know a guy that just retired down there, James Green? He's a big catfisherman.
I have met him. I've met him one time. And I'm trying. That name is very familiar to me.
Yeah, he used to do he had a website a long time ago, like in the early 90s, where he would do a lot of tournament stuff. But yeah, he's my brother-in-law, and he said he's going to try to get back into catfishing really good. He's retired. He's working on the retirement process right now, so he'll be in the works pretty soon.
That's cool. Well, I've supported Wounded Warriors as well, and I've been a supporter both financially at times as well as supporting the tournaments. One of the people I was tightly connected with, because I still do some federal contracts, is I'm still pretty well tied with some people that this lady is a retired Marine, and her husband is now a retired Army person, and he has been huge in the Wounded Warrior program. So I'm a Kiwanian, so I've also helped through some of those tournaments with Kiwanians supporting dollars for those purposes. So anytime that I can help somebody, I've also helped with kids fishing for education on the crappie side. So without our kids coming into these programs and keeping our wounded vets alive and well, and making sure that the VA is helping our people and the medical specifics since we have all had things happen to us at one time or another. That's very important.
Absolutely is. Absolutely is. Well, Dan, thank you for your service as well as all the rest of your buds that's been in and out of there. I know Chuck is a military guy, and there's nothing we can do that'll ever make up for what you guys have done. Now, it's just the way it is. And oh, by the way, before I forget it, that tournament I was telling you about in Quincy, Illinois, Fishing for Freedom, they also have a bass division and a crappie division. So if you get the inclination to take out one of America's greats, you can come up here and fish that with us next year.
Well, you let me know the dates of it so I can see if it cranks into my schedule, okay? And we'll do that.
I'll be sure and get it to you. It's just something that we feel like is very important to give back just very little for everything they do. Another one of our sponsors on Catfish Weekly, Rob Clodfelder, with Whisker Wear Apparel, he asked that you publish the email for the media kit on Catfish Weekly's website. He missed it. It sounds to me like there's a potential for another advertiser for you.
Absolutely. I heard about his company from David Baynard in Driftmaster, and
Right.
David and I are really close friends. He emailed me last week about him coming on board. Tell him that I will publish that for him, and be sure I get it posted up for you guys to go to.
That'll be outstanding. You'll not find any better people than Rob is. He takes care of us so well. He supports a lot of tournaments in catfishing, and he's at all the big events that we all go to, and we dearly thank the world of him. And you guys will get along just like peas and carrots. There's no doubt about it.
Cool. That's cool.
Now, on your crappie fishing, you are a competitive tournament fisherman. Is that correct?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Was very fortunate. God blessed me in 2011 and 2012 to be with a partner at that time, Bill Braswell, out of Kentucky, and we won back-to-back 2 Angler of the Year yearly awards for that circuit in those 2 years. And since then, well, he retired at the end of the second one, and it's never been repeated. There's never been a back-to-back win of that Angler of the Year award.
That's outstanding.
And so we fished, my new partner, because my old partner Bill had retired at that time. Garrett Steele is with me. He's a Nashville music artist, country music. And you can see all the things that he does and we do up on Crappie Country. That's the name of our team, Crappie Country on Facebook. And you can follow what we're doing up there. We are big into video, big into promotion for the sport, as well as fishing the Crappie Masters Tour. And when we can, we try to jump in a few other tournaments, like a club that I helped start down here in Montgomery for crappie fishing in December. We now have 71 members in that club, and my wife and I will be down fishing that tournament this coming Saturday at Camden. So
Awesome. Awesome. Well, good luck down in your tournament. I hope you guys tear them up and have a great time while you're down there. Chuck, you or Doc have anything else for Dan this evening?
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I'm good.
We're really excited about this. We had a lot of good people information shared tonight, and several guys in our chat was anxious to see it when it comes out. So we wish you the best for this. I know you've got a great crew behind you. This magazine will do really good, and if there's anything that Catfish Weekly can do for you in the future, you or Ron, just give us a shout. We'll be glad to take care of it for you.
thank you, Lyle. Thank you, guys. We appreciate that you allowed us to come on. Feel free anytime to ask us to come back or to help you in any way we can. We'd be glad to do that. And all your listeners out there, stay tuned, because we're going to be really pushing some stuff out here.
Awesome. Man, we can't wait. Thank you again, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, guys.
All righty. Boys, I'm telling you, that's going to be a big deal for catfishing industry. I can't wait for this magazine to get out. You can tell just by visiting with him that he has the passion to make this thing work, and he's got Ron Presley and Keith Sutton going to be a part of this. Ron's going to be like an editor, I believe, and there's no way that you can miss with a deal like that. It's just, man, he's got it going on. I think it's going to be a great deal for all of us.
Yep.
I'm going to try to get Burr, send him a link to get in here, and we'll try to get that going. If you guys got something else you want to go over right quick while I'm getting him this set.
I can jump in here and give you SWOCC results for this past weekend. They were fishing out of Neville, Ohio, which is right on the Ohio River. First place was Vince Nadosky and Seth Hedrick, 81.4 pounds. Second was Tim Mulvihill and Grant Wilson, 72 pounds, and they had the big fish, which was a 42.1 pound blue. And third was Adam and John Denier with 66.1 pounds. I think there was 10 or 12 boats in the tournament, so that's
Awesome.
all I've got.
Sounds great. Sounds great, man.
Me and my grandkids,
Well, I sent them
we
the link.
fished. Go ahead, Lyle.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I was just going to say that'd be really good. We get all this stuff lined up. Them guys will be, if they come in here, they're going to come in just a few minutes. If not, we're going to do an interview with them on the phone.
Okay. My grandkids and I, we fished a tournament up on Indian Lake here in Ohio. Over the last several years, this lake it's always been channel cats, but in the last 3 years, it's been big flatheads and a lot of flatheads. This weekend alone, the tournament started on Thursday at noon. It ended at Sunday at noon. And the top 30 places were all flatheads, going from 39.98 down to the last weight I saw was 15 something. So that's a lot. That's a lot of flatheads in one lake.
Man, that is, and then some great fish. They're great fish for anybody, but to see youngsters catch stuff like that, that's outstanding.
Yeah, and they had like 900 entries, $15 an entry. So my grandkids had a blast. They were just catching fish after fish after fish. So.
Wow, they had 900 entries.
Yeah, normally that's about par, 800 to 900 entries every year up here.
Holy crap!
So,
man.
And they have 3 different children's divisions, in ages. And what's kind of cool about it is if the kids start catching the flatheads, they can slide up onto the adult board also.
Man, that's cool. That is cool. I have a message just been sent to me. ICATS is holding a free veterans event this weekend at Red Rock Lake in Iowa. So any of you guys up there in that area, jump on in there and get you some of that. I know from what I understand, that is one of the great tournament events that is taking place in the state of Iowa. So that'd be a lot of fun if you could go up there and get involved with that. I know they'd be glad to see anybody that's in the area to jump in and help them out, have a really good turnout for that.
Yeah, and I'd like to bring up something else. I'm on Catfish Weekly here on our Facebook page. I'd like to thank everybody for sending the pictures in. We've been getting some pretty good pictures. I'm looking right now at one from Ricky Poole. I don't know who's got the biggest grin on that face. That flathead he's got on the deck of the boat or him. So, but we appreciate everybody bringing these pictures on our Facebook page. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, that's really cool to see all those, and we need to get back to talking more about that. Chris used to do that a lot, and it's just hard to get it all done, and we're trying to get so much stuff crammed in, and I guess that's the reason why we never make it in an hour. We're always running over. So, but that's okay. It's still good.
Yeah, as long as they can put up with us talking, that's all that matters.
I'm going to try to call these guys and see if they're there. Hang on, fellas.
Chuck, has it been hot down there in Alabama?
Oh man, it's a scorcher.
Been pretty humid up here. We still haven't had any rain though.
Yeah, we've been having like daily thunderstorms, you know, in the afternoons. You know, and it's keeping it very humid, and it's just so muggy. It's terrible.
Yeah, well, earlier when we were talking, you said the Bimmy top gets in the way. Yeah, it gets in the way. It's hard to cast around. It's hard to net fish around it. But, man, it makes for some nice shade if that sun's burning down on you.
It does. And then, you know, if one of them bad thunderstorms pop up like it did on me yesterday, it'll really save you, too.
Yeah, to keep you good and dry. I love
Yeah.
mine. I'd be lost without mine.
If you get out of the wind to where that rain don't blow right up under it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you're in that direct wind, it's not going to stop anything.
Right, right.
Oh, okay, when you click on that, it'll bring you right into the show. We'll be ready for you there. And if something happens, just let me know, and we'll do it on the phone. We'll go ahead and get some other stuff out of the way in the meantime. And okay. Well, that link that I sent you, you just click on it once you get your account made. I sent it to you in a message. Well, okay, you haven't come on the show yet. We don't have you in there. Okay, that's fine. Listen, when you get that done, you just click on that link and it'll bring you right in the show, and we'll be ready for you when you get there. All right, bud. Okay, thank you. With people working through the daytime and trying to get this stuff done at last minute, well, we really wanted to have these guys on there. They went into a tournament with near 100 boats and went in there and won the thing with some pretty good fish in pretty rough water. It was really high over there. And while we have a few minutes, there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about that. Brad Kilpatrick of Kansas City Catfish and the city of Brunswick and a bunch of people over there put this on the Brunswick town of Brunswick, got behind these guys, and we see Memphis get behind George Young. We have seen over the years what Owensboro, Kentucky does for Aaron Wheatley and his tournament. Now you can imagine a town that has a Casey's store in it to buy fuel and stuff, and 2 restaurants, and very little other businesses more than that, to go in there and get behind these guys and put in a bunch of added prize money and block off a street. They blocked off a city street to do a Calcutta with, and the people of the town are sitting out in front of this bar where we had this Calcutta in lawn chairs. They was waiting for this Calcutta to take off for probably a bunch of catfishermen none of them ever seen before, and may have heard of them, and they may not have heard of any of them. And it was outstanding event. They done a heck of a job. Hi, guys.
How you doing? Good.
How you doing tonight?
Real good. You?
Not too bad. I know it's kind of tough when you work as late as you do to get on here, but we appreciate you getting on the show with us tonight. And you guys absolutely had a heck of a night the other night and put some great fish in the boat, and we're glad to have you on here. And I thought maybe you might be able to tell us how your night went.
Well, it was a good night. We lost a couple of good fish, but we ended up putting some good fish in the boat too. So, yeah.
Right. Now, did you guys get big fish or just win and wait?
No, we just got winning weight.
Win and wait. Win and wait. Yeah.
Big fish was 56.4.
Well, a lot
what
of
was the winning weight?
it was 140.6 pounds.
The 5 fish or 6 fish?
That's 5 fish.
5 fish. Woo! Yeah.
Pretty good. You know, we a lot of people are concerned about the Missouri River, and these gentlemen can tell you it was coming up a little bit, and there was quite a bit of trash in it, but it is a river that anyone can fish if you pay attention to what you're doing and respect the river. It'll give you back what you ask out of it, and if you don't, then it'll bite you a little bit. But it is a great place to fish. Did you guys fish around there locally, or did you make one of the big long runs like some of the guys did?
We made a pretty long run. I'd say probably 35, 40 miles.
35, 40 miles, right.
Wow.
That's pretty good. I know that's not as far as some of them went. Some of them went a lot further than that.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
They, you know, I was thrilled that you guys done it. I hadn't met you all before the weigh-in the other night, and it's good to see guys come in to the tournament stuff that I've never met before. So I was happy to see somebody that I didn't know win. Some of the guys you kind of expect them to place really high in most of the tournaments, and it's awesome when somebody sneaks in there and grabs one, and that's what it's all about. Are you guys local over there?
Yeah. Yeah, we're both local.
You live around the Brunswick area?
No, Danny here does. He lives over by DeWitt. I live over here in Malta.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to see if these other guys have anything they want to ask you about, and we'll go from there. How's that?
That's good.
All right, Chuck, what do you got for them, man?
Congratulations, guys, man. That was a good finish. I was watching Facebook, you know, Friday night and Saturday, and I sent Lyle a message, and I said, I have never seen guys this pumped up about going to a tournament. I mean, it was a really big deal. I mean, was there a lot of smack talking going on?
Yeah, there probably was.
That's what makes it all fun, you know. Friends talking smack. You can't have no more fun than that. What kind of gear y'all use? Y'all use what type of rods, and you know, y'all use heavy rods, medium heavy, or what do y'all use on that river?
I use pretty heavy rods. Big castor reels, fins.
Yeah, and I'm using Ramagatsu with heavy rods.
Yeah, I could imagine. But what size? What weight sinkers was y'all using?
We sold 10 ounce.
10. Yeah, I heard some guys using up to around 14. I could just imagine hooking up with some big fish in that 5-mile-an-hour current. I mean, even a 30-pounder probably feels like it weighs a ton.
Yeah, it does.
Especially if one gets wrapped in the leader. I mean, I've had one do that in slight moderate current, and I had to go after him. There's no way I could have brought him up current. So about what time did y'all you know, get on most of your best fish?
I think we started catching good fish about 10:30. They started hitting from about 10:30 to about 2:30, and they cut off on it until about 4 o'clock. And about 4 o'clock, we landed another one late 40.
Okay, so did y'all catch enough fish where y'all were doing a lot of culling?
Yeah, we do a lot of culling. I think we caught anywhere from 20, 25 fish maybe. But we caught a lot of 5 and 10 pounds.
Awesome. All right. Well, it's been nice talking to you. I'm gonna pass you on to Doc. I'm sure he's got some stuff to ask y'all. And it was nice talking to y'all. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice talking to you.
Congratulations, guys. That's a good weight. So you guys were anchored down,
Yeah. Yep.
and were you catching all the fish out of just one spot, or were you moving around?
Just stay in the same spot all night.
Same spot, really. Anything nearby? I mean, were you in a creek mouth, or what were you targeting? Were you targeting wood, or
Yeah,
was
we started in behind the dike. We was actually knew the fish were coming in out of the deep hole and they're coming up on top of the dike. And we fishing about 12, 14 foot of water. We knew they'd been coming up around the off the edge of the channel.
Yeah.
Channel and power feeding, but that's what we've been targeting now.
Using live bait or cut bait?
We was live bait.
All your fish came on live bait?
All our fish come on creek fish.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Where do you hook a creek? Okay, with that much current, where do you hook a creek chub to keep him alive?
Well, our creek
Right in the middle?
got them in our tank, and then we run the hook through their mouth and come all the way back to the back of their fin, where it comes to the top of the hook is out the back. You know, they don't stay alive very long, but just normally they're not in the water very long, so they get a good bite.
Yeah. They stay long enough. They stay alive long enough to get ate. That's what you want. All right. Well, congratulations, guys. Appreciate you coming on board.
Thank you.
Well, gentlemen, you know, that's a heck of a night you guys had over there, and we're really happy that you got to join us on the show. I didn't know if we was going to make it work or not, but it's really nice of you guys to join us, and I hope to see you at some tournaments down the road.
Oh, you will.
My plan. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks a bunch, guys.
You guys have a great night.
You too.
Thank you. You too.
You know, that was really outstanding to see those guys. Like I say, when I went over and talked to Burr at the tournament, I'd never met him before, you know, and Brad was getting Mr. Randolph ready to take him down to do the polygraph and all the stuff, and it was really good. I was happy to see some new faces in the sport, and that's what we need is continually get new people in there. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of new guys coming into the sport. Now these gentlemen are probably our age or are reasonably close to that, and there's a lot of young guys getting into the sport, and I mean they're coming in with some great equipment, and they're setting these tournaments on fire. They don't win them all, but man, they're up in the top 10, top 5 all the time, and it's just really good to see the sport headed in the direction it's going. Don't you boys think so?
Yep. Good deal.
I really do. Chuck, what have you got for closing stuff tonight? You got anything you need to talk about?
Well, Alabama Catfish Trail, you know, Daniel's only going to have a couple of tournaments left. You know, he went ahead and changed Gunnersville in September because of the Mississippi River Monster Tournament. So he hasn't established a date, but we want to go out with a bang on that very last tournament. So we're trying to come up with suggestions around, you know, opening day of bow season, opening day of gun season, youth hunt day. I know we're not going to be able to pick the perfect day, but we're you know, on the site we're looking for suggestions, trying to get everybody together so we can have a really good turnout with all the competitors that's been following the trail for the past few years. And also this Saturday night on 8/13, we've got a tournament. The Alabama Catfish Trail has a tournament here on my home lake of Logan Martin in Pell City at Lakeside Landing. It's a night tournament from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. You know, so if you're one of the guys that just able to fish the Coosa tournaments, here's one for you. And you know, as far as I know, nobody's got any tournaments together for next year or trying to start anything. So if you need to get your fever fixed here locally, there's just a couple events left, guys.
Yeah, awesome. That's really cool. Doc, what have you got as far as results and stuff?
Well, I already gave the results, SWOCC results. I gave those out earlier.
Okay.
And I didn't get anything else. Nobody posted anything. I never saw anything. So I was off the grid for about 3 days up here. So.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. I am looking for some stuff, and I'm having a hard time finding it. But how about a Doc's tip for the night?
Okay, Doc's tip for the night is I like to use sinker slides. One of the problems with sinker slides is when you go to take them out of the box, about a dozen of them come with it, and when you're all said and done, they're all over the bottom of the boat, and you're stepping on them, and if you got bare feet, then you're dancing all over everywhere. So what I do is I take one sinker slide, I open it up, and then I take and put 4 or 5 more on that one sinker slide. So I've got about 5 sinker slides on this one slide. I close that up. Now I don't, when I grab the one, I just bring 5 with me. I can put them in my pocket, and I don't have 30 or 40 of them laying all over the boat. So that's Doc's tip for the night on the sinker slides.
That's pretty cool. You know, I get the same mess you do. I got the little bitty like tackle boxes and baits that they open up, and of course when you open the package they all come out of there. So I just put them in a little compartment. And then when you go to get them out, you pick up one and they all come with it. You got to pick them up. And I'm in a tournament. I got time to pick them things up. I got to get going. Got to go. And you know, that's a really cool tip. So thanks for that, Doc. I'm going to get back on the deal with the Brunswick tournament. You know, I know that Clint Grissom and some of them guys over there put a lot of time in with this, with Brad, to make that tournament a really big event. This little town, like I was telling you, it's a very small town right on the river. It's an old town. It's got a couple of bed and breakfasts in it. We did have to go a little ways to get a motel. I think it was about 15 miles to a motel, and I'm pretty sure that's where most of the guys from out of town stayed because their parking lot was full. So I'm glad that they all got some business out of this, and this tournament's going to be one of the big ones one of these days, and we need to stay with it. Now, the first place was Edie and Randolph with 140.6 pounds. Sanders and Salpin. Brian Sanders and Danny Salpin, the guy I talked about a lot from down in St. Louis, 90 pounds for second place. That's a really great weight for a night tournament over there. Swearington and Wing, 76.9 for third. Jacobs and Harris, 43.4. Big Fish and Clear and Kratz was 70.4 for fifth place. It's just I didn't get the weight for fourth place. I got these from Brad, and I don't know if he's working or what, but he was good enough to send me those. So this is a yearly event over there. So you guys that want to go to a really good area where the people treat you like kings and queens, however the case may be, Brunswick, Missouri is where you need to try to make it next year and get to this Brunswick Wildcat tournament. We really had a great time, and I got to meet a bunch of people that I've known online for a long time and never had got to meet them. I got to meet old Bill from out in Nebraska. I was happy to get to see him. These guys got to partying a little bit. They had a big time up there at the motel. They was all just going at having a good time, and that's what you do. And like I was saying a while ago, the KC club over there, they put Knights of Columbus, they put together a big feed, and they had a barbecued pork, all you could eat, with baked beans and homemade coleslaw and potato salad. They give you all the boaters free meal, and there was a bar down there where we all got in. It's standing room only, and when they had this Calcutta, they blocked off this city street, and the people, they brought chairs out, and there was guys that brought their own lawn chairs, and for a little town now, I want you to wrap your head around $6,500 in the Calcutta. And the only people that was in the Calcutta was guys that pre-entered for the tournament. The other guys wasn't even in it. Danny McGraw and Rob Gregg, $400 is what they brought in the Calcutta. Great guys, great fishermen, but for a little area like that in a little town, $400. Now, I didn't catch the name of the last team that was in the Calcutta. $475. There was a lot of guys that went from 100 to 300. These people in this town, like I say, they was bidding on guys, and they may have knew some of them, but I'm pretty thinking that they didn't. And Trent sent me a message here: 67 entries for the Calcutta, $6,500. That's just outstanding. And like I say, this city street, it was full of people, and they wasn't all fishermen. Rybolt and Cargill was the ones that got it. $475 for it was the last team. I wasn't sure who it was. Mike Rybolt and Ken Cargill. And I'm going to tell you, before I get going on any more of this, I know everybody is on Facebook has seen the talk about Ken Cargill's new boat, and I got to see that baby the other day. It's unbelievable. You got to get to see some of them pictures when they posted. There's a little short video of this thing going down the river. I got to see it go up the river. It's amazing. It's just amazing. I never seen a boat like it in my life, and I wouldn't expect anything less out of Ken Cargill. I mean, it's just the coolest thing. It's huge. I mean, it's just huge, and it's got everything that you need, and really not a whole lot more other than maybe some electronic stuff that everybody wouldn't want or don't even know about maybe. But it's a magnificent boat, and I'm very glad to get to see that thing. It was awesome. Like I said, we had a really good time over there. Central Missouri Cats is having a tournament over there August 27th. You guys get a chance. Make sure that you go check out Matt Sanders' tournament. You'll really like him. Clint sent me another message. Ken Cargill was number 136 unofficial run. That's the weight that he would have had if he'd have made it to the weigh-in. He ran out of gas with 81 gallons in his boat 4 miles from the ramp and run out of gas. I have luck like that. I really didn't think anybody else did, but you know, Ken is a great guy. If you don't know him, if he's always at the big tournament, you need to make an effort to meet him. He's a really super guy. He hangs around with some of the best in the business, and he's got some of the real coolest toys that there ever is to have. Every time I see him, I just get giddy, you know, because I know he's got some stuff I ain't got. Phil Brown and Josh Mays fished that, had an unofficial weight of 150 pounds in that tournament, and they couldn't make the weigh-in in time. So there was some great weights caught. They didn't all make the weigh-in. And, you know, Josh, I had quite the conversation with Josh and Phil over there, and they're always a good time. I really need to get them guys on the show sometime. I'm not sure if Josh is set up. He kind of lives out in the boonies, but we'll see about getting them on here one of these days. They are a hoot, and another team that's going to be going to a lot of the big tournaments this year. Twisted Cat Outdoors this weekend. Night tournament that was scheduled for Keokuk, Iowa, will be held in Warsaw, Illinois. If you get a chance, go over and see Alex. I believe it is 4 to midnight. I'm not sure on that, but you can check it out on Facebook. He has a page up there for Twisted Cat Outdoors and get all the information. Give him a shout, send him a message, call him. He'll tell you whatever you need to know about that. I think that's going to wrap it up for the evening. I think we had a really good show with them boys winning the tournament, and this new magazine is going to be outstanding. There's one other thing I want to mention to these guys that's holding these tournaments where you've got 50-plus boats or 75-plus boats. If you ever see a Calcutta held like they held at Brunswick and see the amount of participation that's involved with this, you'd have one at all these tournaments. And it's not about the money. It's about dragging them people out of that town to come down there and be a part of what we do fishing these catfish tournaments. And it didn't matter if you was a fisherman or you was part of the tournament team or if you was part of the city. Everybody had a blast. So it's something to consider to get your town people that's already behind you involved in the tournaments. It was just a great time.
Explain exactly how a Calcutta works, Lyle.
Well, there's a couple different ways. When we done them in pool tournaments, everybody that was entered in the tournament was in the Calcutta. If nobody bid on you, you bought yourself for $10. The way they did it the other day was they allowed the people that was in the prepaid for the tournament, they was in it, and the guys that didn't prepay wasn't in it, or I think you had to be entered before the Calcutta or something. I don't know exactly, but I think it was pre-entries. Anyhow, they just started bidding, and they started the bid, I believe, at $20, and it'd go till somebody stopped it. You know what I mean? And Clint said all the teams sold, so that was really good. They had a regular auctioneer come up there. Most of the time you have these Calcuttas, it's just somebody up there pretending that he was an auctioneer, to get the things going. This guy was a professional auctioneer. I assume that's what he done for a living. He's very good at it. He was out there, him and Brad was watching each other and getting the bids and stuff. And some of these guys that was out there in them lawn chairs, they older fellas, and they was having a ball just bidding against each other. Like I say, I don't know if they knew these guys, if they cared if they knew them, but they was having a blast. That town got behind this in a way that for a town that size, I'd never seen it before. It was just amazing. And Clint says the auctioneer volunteered his services, and he was a professional. I knew he had to be. He was too good at it, And even after the Calcutta was over, everybody mingled around and had a big time, and I'm sure that bar sold a ton of booze because it was packed. It was standing room only when we was in it before the Calcutta, and some of them come out, but I am quite sure once everybody cleared out of that street, they was all right back in that bar. You know how that works. But everything was run very smooth, and I haven't been to a tournament short of Monsters on the Ohio in a long time that was any more fun than what we had. Now, we had some issues with trees getting up underneath the boat, bending our transducer up where we couldn't see where the fish was at. Different things happened through the night that didn't go our way, and that's okay because that's part of fishing. If you don't have some issues once in a while, then you're not doing something right, and we accept that. We know that when we go to these places. But the pre-tournament, the weigh-in, being around these people, some of the greatest folks you could ever want to be around, and the city and the people that worked with Brad to put this tournament on went out of their way to make this an outstanding event, and I congratulate everybody involved with this. It was a lot of fun, and I'll be back. I mean, you're going to have to tell me to stay away from here on out. It's just a good time. And the Missouri River is full of giant fish. Everybody don't catch them, but the ones that caught fish caught good fish.
Good deal. Good deal.
Yep, lots of fun. Anything else, fellas?
No, that's about all I've got.
All right, guys.
I don't have anything. Everybody stay safe out on the water.
Absolutely. Look forward to seeing everybody down the road. Next Monday night, we are going to have Brad Cox with Springfield, Illinois, with the Veterans Tournament they're doing over there. And we're going to have Josh Van over with his Bruce Midkiff Tournament coming up. So make sure to tune in next Monday night. And for Chuck Davison and Doc Lang, I'm Lyle Stokes, and thanks for watching Catfish Weekly.